This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
I love how she gives answers to things that we wonder about. I think you may be going through your daily day feeling a certain way. You could be tired. You could be energized. You could feel a lot more conflict. There are astrological reasons for that. Astrology is a science, by the way, and she breaks that down, helps us understand it. One thing on our planetary radar is the last new moon of the year taking place, and what does that mean for us? And here's the amazing part. She gives that clarity, but then also gives steps on what you can do within your life as we navigate through these astrological transits, because she's also a life coach. So great to have her back with us. Our professional of the year, Nancy Volante, is here. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Steve. Glad to be here and to tackle tackle what's going on and over the weekend and our last new moon of the year. And how do we bring that into our lives and manage ourselves? How do we manage ourselves? I feel like that's what I've been doing this week a lot, is managing. And what does that mean? How do we manage ourselves, right?
I have thoughts, and I'm also like rewinding the past week since we last got together and what has transpired, and just certain things. Every day, some things you do the same thing, but a couple little blips on a radar. Oh, did that? Oh, that took place. Oh, and how it translates to this. How do we manage ourselves?
Yeah, because it's and I'll get into the new moon and why I wanted to bring this up. But managing ourselves, I feel like sometimes is we stop. Okay, if something's really agitating us, or if we get into a confrontation, or there's an obstacle in the way, and we just can't do it. So what do we do? Now I know myself, I've I've kind of just ran straight into it head on a lot of times, and that doesn't help.
Mm.
Right? That really doesn't help, and I think we've all been through that. It makes things messier. It creates more problems, more emotion. Um, so managing that, what are some things that we can do? We can observe for a moment. We can
Mm.
step back. In fact, I had to do that yesterday. I was getting really frustrated in a situation talking to somebody, and I said to myself, okay, we just step back for a second, take a breath, so breath is our friend for managing
Mm.
these kind of circumstances, stepping back, and that's observing yourself. So not only do you observe the situation at hand, but you observe yourself, you witness what you're doing, and that takes practice, right? Because what I'm going to go through right now, I'm going to go do the astrological components of why I'm bringing this up. So let me backtrack a little bit to clarify what we're working on. So tomorrow is our new moon, our last new moon of the year, and it's been quite a year.
Mm.
2025 has been a lot. It's brought up a lot, it's challenged us, it's asked us questions about ourselves. Whether we do the work or not is really our choice, right? So this new moon is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the element fire. It's ruled by Jupiter, which is a very expansive planet. It's the planet of a lot of wisdom, truth, justice, self-growth. And that's what Sagittarius is. This new moon is asking us, what is your vision? What do you believe in? Have your beliefs changed? What is the truth about how you're walking your talk? How do you
Mm.
explore that in order to get more information, more wisdom, more insight, more perspective, which is what Sagittarius likes? How do we change our perspective on things in order to maybe let people in, or maybe let people go, let things go, opportunities that maybe aren't opportunities, so we can see what they really can bring us?
Or
Um,
or because I
Yeah.
experienced that this year in
Yeah.
two situations, the opportunities, what they really are,
Yeah.
really looking deeper into it, because what appears on the surface may not be what it truly is. So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to look a little deeper, which I did. And I was like, all right, well, that doesn't align. I thought it did. Okay. Learning experience.
That is so beautiful, Steve, because how many times I've done that so many times because I have that kind of energy sometimes. I get really excited. I have a Sagittarius rising
Hmm.
and Aquarius sun and Libra moon. So I'm like excited about everything. Like, let's go, let's be social, let's do. And it's gotten me in trouble exactly what you said.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a great opportunity. I'm going for it. I'm in it. And then it's like, oh, it's presenting itself in another way that
Yep.
is not an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that creates confusion. Well, what does opportunity mean? That's what you saying that that's what ignited in me. What does opportunity mean?
Hmm. Or even just the situation where you may have got involved in something or with someone on whatever level. And then you take a step back and it's like, well, that's not really what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And you think about that. Maybe you need to make some change with that. I will say this, even as of this morning, even as of 30 minutes ago, of a situation, um, personal situation that kind of presented. I'm not surprised, but I need to take a little bit of action on it, but I didn't. I took time. I took a lot of time
Ah,
to process it. Took a lot of time to write an email. Took a lot of time to consult with someone on this situation where maybe in the past I'd be sending that out right away. And I was like, well, what's the
yeah.
rush? Let's take a little time here and take a look at this.
See, I think that that's really beautiful, and that's something in when I'm coaching, you know,
Hmm.
if somebody comes to me, it's like, I keep on making the same decisions and these same patterns over and over again. I
Yep.
just rush into things. So that's something that we would work on, like, okay, how are we going to manage this? And it's learning to align yourself with your authentic self, which is much easier said than done, right? But when you actually align yourself, and like what you did, you took a moment. You didn't take action, but you took time. I think that is such a that to me, I like that, Steve.
You know
I
what?
like
That's
that.
it's
You
the new
take
me.
somebody. It's
Yeah.
simple.
Unless you have
Instead of
to, why not take the time to analyze something?
right.
So on the coaching level for you, do you often tie it back to astrology? For example, what you just said, somebody may come before you and say, "No, I don't understand why this pattern presents itself or why this keeps coming up." Like, what do you
Yes.
think's going on there, Nancy? Do you also
Well,
look at it through the lens of astrology to give maybe more of a explanation why what's happening around us is happening?
I definitely do. And
Mm.
I'm going to do that right now with what you said. You said two words, I wrote them down, action and time. So this new moon, and I'm going to go back to that because I'm going to go to one other thing that if I was looking at somebody's chart and they were doing this, I would look at the planet Mars.
Mm.
And that's a personal planet. It's a planet that moves faster. And Mars is about action. It's about assertion. It's about how do we gain momentum in our desires and our will. It's also can be very impulsive. It's the planet of war. Now, I'm not, war in the sense that it's the warrior. It's like, I'm going to get that done right now, whether it's good or bad or ugly or pretty or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I look at the planet Mars if this was something that continuously happened. So we'd look at where it is in the chart, and then we look at maybe is there some aspects that are happening, transits, excuse me, that are happening out there. Well, Mars has just moved into Capricorn as we speak, the 15th. And it really loves being in Capricorn. It's what it's called exalted in Capricorn because, Capricorn is like boots on the ground, very grounded and can be very creative. It's like, I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to be structured. And Mars is like, you know what? I like that because you're making me, you're teaching me how to have structure within my assertiveness, to want to be impulsive and want to get action out there and all that. So that is the signature that's happening right now.
Hmm.
Action and time. Action is
Hmm.
Mars, Capricorn is time. So if you came to me and we were looking at a possible issue or pattern of yourself that you're so impulsive, we'd look at your chart and see where that Mars is. Let's say you have a Mars in Aquarius. Whoa. So we'd have to dig a little, we'd have to find a way to really stabilize your nervous system and not be so like erratic with your changes and with your decisions. So we'd work on that to manage it. Right now, Steve, we have Mars in Capricorn, and we have Mars in Capricorn, and we are, my dog is barking. I'm so sorry.
What sign is your dog?
My dog is a Gemini, so I'm
Look at
hoping
that.
that
Well,
he's
there you
yeah.
go. I mean, your dog wants to be part of the conversation because the Gemini is very social, and
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting
yeah,
for this to happen. So let me just get back
it's
on
great.
track. Oh, um, so Mars is in Capricorn right now, and it's moving right next to this new moon in Sagittarius. So so what Capricorn is saying is like, let's plan our vision, Sagittarius. Let's look and see where our motivation is to really explore where our truth lies. How do we broaden our horizons in a way that becomes clear and structured instead of out in the ethers and not grounded, but just an idea that eventually just kind of spills into nothing. So, so with this new moon in Sagittarius, there's also a signature happening that's called a square that we've talked about. And that is creates tension. It creates stress. And that square is with Saturn and Pisces, excuse me, Saturn and Pisces and Neptune and Pisces, squaring this full moon, saying, Saturn is saying, you need structure in this dream that you have. Because without it,
Hmm.
Neptune can just dissolve everything.
Let's go over that again. So
Okay.
we have a goal or a dream or a few. Do you feel that what could be missing is that structure, like the better plan? We take it for granted. Well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's all going to kind of fall into place. And there's, something to be said about that as well, instead of overthinking it. But at the same time, what are you trying to do and how are you going to do it? Um, some say, hey, manifest it. It's already done. Don't worry about how you're going to get to it. It's already here. But when we look at the structure, what's going on in terms of astrology and transits to remind us that we need to have that structure if you want to succeed?
And that's at Saturn in Pisces, conjunct the Neptune in Pisces, square, creating tension, creating a reality check to this new moon in Sagittarius that can get very expansive, right? And can get very caught up in the ideals and the ideas of tomorrow and how to get there. So I think it's a beautiful square.
Mm.
I think it's saying to us, pull the reins back a little bit so you can, again, coaching wise, so you can, what are your goals? This is what I would ask somebody if they were having a hard time managing their stress or something that they idea that they wanted to do. What are your goals? Let's put down your goals and let's work on the steps that we need to get there. It can be very small. And I actually like starting small because small creates a foundation. And that's what that Mars in Capricorn is wanting to do, create a foundation with our action and our energy of whatever we want to manifest right now.
Mm.
So
Ooh.
there's a lot going on with this new moon that is, yeah, it's about new beginnings. It's about intention, but it's also about speaking your truth, checking reality, and boots on the ground.
Would you say that this is the perfect time for it, the beginning of the year? Lots of us look at, resolutions and things like that. Is this showing up at a really good time?
I think it's showing up at a great time.
Okay.
I really do. And there's never it's synchronicities. You know, I think it's a really good time to because of what we've been through this year, individually and collectively.
Mm.
You know, what do we want to do that's a new beginning? And I'm not really about resolutions as much as I'm about what can I work on and take the steps to transform. And again, that Mars and Capricorn, that Capricorn really wants you to, Capricorn is the sea goat. So that's the mythology around it. So it has that water energy because it's got the sea goat with it, but it also climbs the mountain. And with all due respect, sometimes I think, and that's for all of us in our culture, we don't want to climb the mountain. We want it to be there right now, right here.
Of course.
And right?
Well,
And we
every
all
day, more than more, but we're in I call an Amazon world. You click that button in most
exactly.
places, it's 3 p.m. It's here. Like, and now that's the model, faster, faster, faster. So I'm not climbing. I should be on the top of that mountain already. Come on. No,
Right.
doesn't work that way.
And, and that's when it's hard to manage the tensions and the struggles that create resilience and determination.
Hmm.
I'm all about the work. Now,
So I
and
always
that's,
ask you this, the Nancy 10 scale. And I'm curious,
yeah,
this new moon, the last one of the year, in terms of it being impactful and also very useful for us if we want to move life forward. 10 being obviously, man, this is woohoo, got a good one here. Um, one not so much. Where would you put it?
and again, this is general, right? Because it
Yeah,
always depends on a person's chart, where it is, what the houses are, and all that, the transits.
sure.
But collectively, in general, I'm going to say 10. And I've been saying that a lot because
Yeah.
we are moving towards this energy of it's a pinnacle of choice. We're at a choice point. Do we want to become more conscious or do we want to stay in the status quo? Because to be honest, the status quo is a little funky right now.
Why is that?
I just think that, when things get funky and messy, it's a really I don't think of that as a bad thing. I think of that as a time of uh, guidance of something's got to change. And we don't know if something's got to change if we're always happy and we're always skipping along and when things get a little messy and we get asked the big questions, we got to go inside and reflect. And then something has to change. And again, with that coaching, how do you manage that
Yep.
tension? How do you manage the I put down here the doubts?
Mm.
How do you manage your doubts and then bring that into a realistic, I mean, we all have doubts. And I don't know, and I'm trying to be really not trying, I'm being positive. Are those doubts a teacher? That if we take it in the right way, are those doubts pushing us to new moon in Sagittarius explore the truth of what it is we want to do and
Hmm.
the human potential that we have. Because
Are
right now, for me, oh, go ahead, Steve.
well, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to be on that the
You don't
doubts.
know. That's good.
Are the doubts, many of them coming from our subconscious? These things that we experience when we were much younger, call them limiting beliefs. Because why would you have
Yep.
doubts? Why would you
Yeah.
be if you didn't have all we didn't have all of that stuff from our childhood in our subconscious? Google it, people, if you're wondering what we're talking about. We're not gonna go deep into that at this moment. But why would you have doubts? Where's it coming from? Do we normally just doubt things, or are we doubting it because there's something in us saying, that's not right, because ultimately our subconscious wants to keep us safe.
Well, I think there is a safety there sometimes too, depending on what has happened. I think we gather doubts in our life from birth to now of our experiences,
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep.
what has happened to us. Um, and for somebody that has had a very traumatic life, and I bring that up because you say safety, sometimes those doubts and those limiting beliefs are there for safety until until we outgrow it so much. And then I'd go back to the chart and look at that until we outgrow it so much that our soul needs something else in order to grow.
Mm.
And
I
it really is about aligning the soul and the now.
I I want to reiterate what you said a moment ago in terms of the transits when I mentioned the new moon and the 10 scale, that this is very individualized. So when you work with somebody, you look at them specifically. We said, yeah, this is a 10. This is that's a very impactful new moon we got going on here. Um, but that's general. You go into much detail within the transits. You did it for me. Oh my gosh, the information that comes back. And I wasn't just validating it just to make you feel good. It's exactly
I know.
me.
Thank you. I
It,
appreciate
it
that.
was my blueprint,
Yeah.
coming from you. Before we run out of time, I want to
Woo.
change things for just a moment, and this is a bit
Yeah.
personal for both of us. Many make New Year's resolutions. I don't do it anymore. I
I
come
don't
up
either.
I come up
Yeah.
with the word of the year. What is the word of the year? What are you going to pilot by? So that said, what comes up for you? What would be moving forward 2026? What would be your word for the year? And if you're feeling it, share why.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm working on it right now. So my word is because I like that. I don't do resolutions either. I like words. Creativity.
Hmm. Hmm.
Creativity, because I am very excited and I'm taking this new moon in Sagittarius, where it is in my chart, sitting right on my rising sign, which is out in the public. And, I just want to make a intention of, I really want to be in my creative body, mind, and soul because I want to, walk my talk. And that is working with people, working with communities, bringing astrology to a place that comes into alignment that we can use in order to move forward.
Hmm.
So whatever those creative projects are, I love the creative process. So that's my thing for the new year. How about you, Steve?
Beautiful. And I would imagine
Thank
that's
you.
coming up for you because the creative aspect within you isn't being utilized or tapped the way it should be. Would you say
And
that's
it
true?
hasn't. And it yes, because I was playing small. You know,
Mm.
I was playing small, but it's where I was supposed to be. I owned a yoga studio. I had a, beautiful studio for 8 years, and I felt myself outgrowing it. And because I have a Sagittarius rising, I want to expand and grow into the world. Like when I was 15 years in the city, in the inner city, I worked with many different cultures. and in many different communities, and it fed my soul. It fed my creativity.
Mm.
So now I'm back to that, and I want to do that in a way that that is feeding my soul as
Yep.
far as teaching and exploring, maybe traveling and
Sure.
doing what I'm doing right now with you, which I'm very happy for that opportunity and said yes. And that's the jumping point.
You're amazing in terms of what you do. And I know many astrologers, many life coaches, nobody that does it in unison. And I think it's just an amazing and beautiful way to help somebody pilot their lives because I believe in astrology. Again, it's a science. There's things there going on. And yeah, we can, get apps and get charts and transits. All right, now what do I do? I need somebody to tell me how to navigate that, and that's you on the coaching side. I you said the word action, and I was wrestling with that. Should that be my word? Because I already have a word, and then I was thinking maybe I should substitute that word. But I'm gonna go
What was your word though? Your the word that you came up with from
growth.
if you don't mind.
It's growth. It's growth.
Well, don't you think growth is action?
It is. I was just, I want to make sure I picked the right word. So it sounds like you're right. But
Well,
I'm
there's the Virgo. I got to make sure that I did.
well,
Forget that.
yeah. And my word this year was execution. So things you're thinking of doing, get
Yeah,
them done. Looking back, got them done, but didn't see the growth that I anticipated. So that's why I'm putting growth. The year before, the word was resilience because I started
mm,
realizing,
beautiful.
oh, you know what? You got more go. You piloted through a lot of crap and no issues and nothing throws you like it used to. So
Yeah,
that word meant a lot then. Um, but it's like it's interesting when you look at again, I look back at 2025 and that I executed a number of things. It didn't grow the way I wanted it to. Man, I need to take a look back at that, but either way, there needs to be, not to say there wasn't growth, even personal growth, there was
right,
a lot.
right.
More, give me more, 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 more.
Yeah, yeah, because you executed something, so you did grow. But now, okay, you grew in what you needed to execute, and now it needs to expand. New moon in Sagittarius.
Hmm.
You have that Gemini on your rising Gemini, right? The opposite is Sagittarius. You are wanting to bring to you more growth. That's happening
Ye-
because the new moon, Steve, would be on your what's called your descendant, not descendant, your DC on the opposite side of your rising sign. Sorry, I'm getting so much energy, and it's asking you to actually grow now. Now that you've done your executions of what you wanted, how can you let that grow and expand? Then you really see what they were about. See, this is the coaching right now that we're
I
doing.
was
I hope it,
just gonna say that, and I honestly, I get goosebumps. I'm gonna be honest because I appreciate what you said because in my mind I sort of beat myself up for not growing more of the things I executed. But as you said, that was part of it. You did grow
yeah.
the things, and as a matter of fact, one of the things I didn't grow the way I thought it was going to, but it has potential to grow in a different way. And it was a week ago today that I was in a meeting and got a download like, oh, that's what you got to be doing. And I just got it again with you out of nowhere. It was like, there it is again. All right, universe,
Yeah.
hello. So
See.
what I did was not for not. There was a reason for it. It just wasn't the reason I guess I intended it to, and didn't grow the way I intended it to grow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the monkey mind, right? As we call it sometimes.
Hmm.
The mind wants us to grow that way. The ego wants us to grow that way. And by the way, we do have to have an ego, so we're not spaghetti, right?
Sure.
But it's an ego that's well placed. And you know what? Well placed, and now your soul is talking to you with the whispering of the soul, the whispering soul, and that's when we are aligned, we can hear that.
Yes.
And you just did.
I did actually. Wow. I just got it's coming clear.
And
Ding.
and
Wow.
you know what?
Crazy.
Let me, if I do have time to just say the big
You got
theme
plenty
of
of
this
time.
whole, the big picture, the big theme is dream big, new moon in Sagittarius, then do the work, Mars and Capricorn. I think those two things together, if you can do it on whatever level you can, and if you can't, it's okay, even if you just think about it for the next time. It's all about awareness and consciousness, and just let it be where it is.
Thank you. And the word soul has been coming up in the last day, and that's the name of your practice, Whispering Soul. And I got no secrets. I get stuck on songs. I get stuck on songs. I don't know why.
Beautiful.
And I've been listening to The Police, King of Pain, and I just
Ah,
like the words and
good
how it's put
song.
together. Little black sun on the little there's a little black spot on the sun
Yeah.
today. It's the
Yep.
same old thing as yesterday.
Yep.
And it's a negative song in terms of pain, like you're dealing with pain.
Yep.
But the chorus, as it goes on, that's my soul up there.
That is so beautiful. That's such a great song. I mean, the police, I mean, he's great.
Yeah.
Uh, what a beautiful song, but it is, and I come back, we start in darkness. We're in the womb. We don't start in light.
Never thought of it that way either.
We
Hmm.
start in darkness. There's nothing wrong with that. It's how we project it, or what is our mindfulness around it, our awareness. And we go back and forth. This planet is the planet of hard knocks. But with people that we can find that can support us, hey, listen, I go get reflexology every week, or I go get Reiki. I'm constantly doing self-care to help me to understand how to come back into alignment to my soul self.
Yeah, well, you need to. We all
You
need
have
to.
to.
Um,
We all do. Yes,
Even if it's taking a walk outside or touching a tree, crazy it may
absolutely.
sound,
No,
makes me feel better. You know?
taking a walk is one of those things that you can manage.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to the nervous system. If we come back to the body astrology, or just the body in general, coming back to your nervous system and yourself.
Fantastic as always talking with you.
Oh, I love
Uh,
talking with you, Steve.
Same. I was just in Connecticut over the
Oh,
weekend.
oh yeah,
It was a last minute idea. I went to
really?
Mystic just to see the
Oh,
village and
Mystic,
the
great.
lights and everything.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was kind of cool because it's they had the snow there. Yeah, so I was thinking about
Yes.
you. I was this
Oh,
way, you're that way in terms of
exactly.
Connecticut. Yeah.
Mystic is such a great place.
I've been
Yeah.
there a long time and it intentional in that because it was very holiday-esque and I wanted that vibe. I felt that was missing. So friend and I was just like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, yeah,
That's so great.
yeah.
That's exploring.
Yeah,
There
it
you
was,
go.
and she wasn't really big into Mystic. Every time I'd mention it, she was like, I don't want to go there. She actually brought it up. Let's go for the village and the lights and everything. I'm like, okay, easy for me, easy. Take a ferry across the water and all
Exactly. How
good.
fun.
Your website is thewhisperingsoul.net.
That's right.
Start the new year. Start the conversation. Realize things in you that you may not have known, especially when it's connected to the planets and the stars, and make it a new year. Make it a good one. We got a lot going on here.
And I just want to say happy holiday. Well, I think we have one more time, right? Before
Uh,
the holiday, or do we not? I don't even
and
know.
nor I don't do this. I don't schedule, but I
I
mean,
don't either.
next
So
week it'll be
whatever it
Christmas.
is, yeah, if
Yeah.
if we're here next, I don't even know, but whatever it is, I hope everybody does have a good holiday, whatever you celebrate, and if you don't,
Yep.
really celebrate you.
Thank you for that again. Love you. Love what you do. We'll talk soon.
I know, me too, Steve. You're the
All right.
best. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.